Hello, welcome to my world where Halloween is a really big deal because no matter how old you get, you never need to grow up. Hi, I'm Melissa Hunter and I'm made up a little bit more than usual, but there's no wig because I just couldn't decide which one to wear and they were all uncomfortable and I'm all about being comfortable. So I went back with like a slicked back kind of look, like a Victoria thing. But I'm going for sort of a vampire pallor today, which isn't hard to do because not feeling well. So I had intended on this wonderful day of Halloween in the 10th anniversary year of Monster High to do a very special live stream. This was my plan. But the live stream was going to be very hard and very long. And darn it if my body just isn't up to it. So we're going to do a different video. We're going to do a video about they are both mine and Caden's, special Monster High dolls. And they're special for different reasons. And I also wanted to answer the questions that we got asked, or that I get asked most frequently about Monster High. So let's start with who is my favorite Monster High doll and character. Miss Gullia Yelps. Gullia is smart, she's beautiful, she wears red, she eats brains. What's not to love? I loved Gullia's look from the very beginning. I mean, this ghoul gives beautiful face. I loved the glasses, I loved her earrings. I have at least 3 original Gullia dolls in different states of disrepair. This one is the one in the best shape. Because when we started collecting Monster High dolls in 2010, we were getting them for my 7 and then 8-year-old to play with. So we were playing with them. We were taking them out of the box and we were playing with them. So they got played with, and these dolls, and I think this was one of the problems with the dolls, is that because they were fashion dolls and they had hands that came off and they had intricate outfits and they had lots of accessories, they got really beat up when you played with them. So, as a collector, it was awesome. As a parent, it was like you could contact support at Mattel and get extra hands and limbs sent to you because they were constantly breaking. Also, the first wave had this really strange way that their hips were put on. If you remember, there was a plastic strap that kind of went through the sockets where the hips went in, and that's why the old dolls, a lot of them have really, she doesn't, but a lot of our dolls just have completely janky legs because the plastic strap broke. So I wanted to show you my 2 favorite San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. I do not have all of the Comic-Con exclusives. The first 2 years, so the Gullia Deadfast Comic-Con exclusive is a holy grail doll for me. And I don't know if I'm ever going to get her because she is never on eBay. Never, ever, ever on eBay. And it is so annoying because I would pay a lot of money for her. And then there was a Frankie that was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive the following year, or maybe it was the first year. I don't know which way. But we weren't on board yet with getting the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives because they were expensive because we didn't go to Comic-Con. So we had to go through someone who was going to Comic-Con and then get them to stand in line and purchase them for us. And that was expensive. And when we started the channel, for those of you who don't know, I was really, really sick. And I had been for 2 years with multiple sclerosis. So we had like no money. We were so broke and we were so in debt. And I will be forever grateful to Monster High and YouTube because our channel grew because of Monster High. And then we started making money from the advertising that YouTube ran on the channel. And that helped us to get out of debt from all the medical bills, and then enabled us to do things like actually pay someone to stand online and get our Comic-Con exclusives. So I'm very grateful for that. And I'm very grateful for, like, what happened before we started the channel was, come here, hang out with me, Ghoul. What happened before we started the channel was that I was in bed all the time. And so while Caden was off at school, I had asked him to gather up all of the Monster High dolls and all their clothes and accessories and stuff. And he put them all in bins because it was all just, they were in different clothes and everything. And I sat in bed and I don't know what I was watching on TV. I was watching something on TV. I'm always binging something on TV. I was in bed and with my hands that were partially numb and not exactly very dexterous, but I was in the process of going through occupational therapy to restore the dexterity in my hands. So this was a good home project for me, was trying to brush their hair, get them dressed again, get their hands back on, doing this really like kind of fine, like the kind of dexterity that you need, like fine motor skills, they're called. So it was a great kind of therapy for me. And I loved the dolls. So that was really awesome. And like, sometimes I couldn't figure out what went where when Caden would come home from school. I'd be like, okay, what else goes on this doll? I don't know what of these things goes on this doll. So that's really was very special to me, Monster High. And the other reason and then it was something that Caden and I could bond over. The other reason that Monster High was special to me was that it was not about fitting in. It was not about being normal. And as a kid, and I think for our whole family, this really resonated. As a child, I was so not normal. And I was just very different. I had a very, I had a difficult and unique childhood situation, and I was very emotional, and I lived very much in a fantasy world as a coping mechanism. And so it made me very weird, is what I used to say. And, people called me things like a freak, even when I was very little, like in elementary school, people called me a freak, and wouldn't play with me and stuff. And because I was that different, I was just like kind of living in my own world to protect myself is what, I realize as an adult, and you go through therapy and you figure out why you're doing the things, why you did the things you did. And I'm forever grateful for my fantasy world and my ability to protect myself by just going into this other place mentally to protect myself emotionally. And I think, it really helped me a lot. It got really difficult as I got into those teenage years, the preteen and like middle school years, where that longing to connect and belong becomes stronger, and the girls get meaner. And that was like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade were beyond painful for me because I was at that point trying to find a way to make myself fit in, and it was never going to happen. But I really, really wanted it. And so by the time I was 13, trigger warning, skip ahead about 20 seconds. By the time I was 13, I didn't want to be alive anymore. I just couldn't do it. Just couldn't handle it. So lots of family therapy and personal therapy ensued. And, I got through high school. I went to college. I found some people in high school who accepted me pretty much as much as they could the way I was, and I made friends, like real friends for the first time, and that was really awesome. And some of them are still my friends to this day. And I went to college with some of them, and it was really awesome, and I made more friends in college. But I've always been different. I never stopped being different, and I stopped trying to fit in. And I mean, it's been great for me, you know, when I was in the working world. It gave me the ability to be really, really, really good at different jobs that I had, because I was so unique and my brain worked in a really unique way. And I wasn't afraid to speak out or stand out, while other people were trying to kind of, you know, stay in their lane. I was all over the place. I was like, I make my own damn lane. And that is a great thing. And so for me, a doll line that celebrated being totally different and letting your freak flag fly was so meaningful, and something that I so could have used myself as a child. So that a doll line like that existed, and I had a child that liked this doll line, was really great. So secondarily to that, for those of you that do remember when this was called The Mommy and Gracie Show, and my son, Caden, I have a transgender son, figure it out. My son, Caden, sat next to me at this table for 5 years. And we did videos about Monster High, and we did videos about a whole bunch of other things. Without going too much into his own personal life, it was obvious to viewers then that Caden was a unique individual in so many ways. Caden is the most beautifully unique person I know. I wish that he could see himself the way I see him, and the way that so many other people do see him. He's just got this beautifully unique and unusual light, and this really special and different way of looking at the world. And now the landscapers are going to come and ruin my emotional moment. But yes, landscapers, hello, because it's Halloween. But it's an honor and a joy to have a child that is so unique. And we thank God every day. We are Christian, by the way. I don't know if we ever talked about that, but we are Christian. And so I pray a lot. And my husband and I thank God every day for entrusting such a unique soul to us. And so for there to be dolls and webisodes and these concepts that spoke to my child about being different, being an awesome thing, being clawsome. I, honest to God, and Garrett Sander, if you ever watch this video, thank you, Garrett Sander, for creating this and pushing for this, and Mattel for making it happen, because I honestly believe that Caden is as okay as he is at the age of 17, because when he was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, there was a doll line and a whole culture and community that formed around that doll line that said that being different was clawsome. That being unique was not just good, it was great. And so this isn't just a doll line to me. And I also feel very similarly about Ever After High. We were talking, Kate and I were talking about Ever After High last night, because I was online on eBay at 1 o'clock in the morning ordering Ever After High dolls. Just go with it. And we were talking about how like revolutionary it was that there was a doll line that basically was like, screw the story that everybody else wrote for you. Go write your own story. You don't have to live up to somebody else's destiny for you. And I think that's awesomely radical, and we'll talk about that in another video. But so that's sort of the emotional thing. And just you know, so you know that, you know, my husband also grew up with a very unique childhood situation, and a disability in that he was extremely blind for until he was about 44 years old. He was born with cataracts because his mother was exposed to German measles while she was pregnant with him. And so it made him different from the other kids. He always had to sit in, right up against the blackboard. He was horrible at sports because he couldn't see anything. It just, and for then in the 70s, for a boy to not be able to, he played in sports, but he kind of sucked at it. And then there were problems with his home life. So he understood, and he kind of took the same approach to life that Caden and I did, which is why I fell in love with the man, which is basically, screw you, I'm going to do me, and I'm going to do me the way I want to do me. And if you don't like me, that's fine, but I'm going to be me. And so when he saw the Monster High dolls, and he was one of the first ones. I mean, he was so into Monster High with us, it was crazy, because to him it was like, this is so awesome that this is a thing that my child can experience. Okay, so that's my long story there. So let us now take a look at my 2 favorite San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. So the first one, and I'm so mad at the landscapers right now. Don't you have children to get ready for trick-or-treating? I know it rained all week, but really, and I can't wait because I don't know when my internal human batteries are going to wear out. Now this box is haunted, by the way. This box sits on top of the curio cabinets in our, yes! It's Wisp and Valentine, and the ring light is gonna do, I gotta turn off the ring light, excuse me. Wisp and Valentine were 2 characters who were, essentially villains in, in their individual movies that they were in. But they were both characters that we all really wanted to see made into dolls. So mad at the landscapers right now. And so I do actually have Wisp and Valentine out of the box as well as in the box, but they're not in condition to be shown to you right now. They need a good dusting and stuff. And I also kind of love the way they're in the box. I don't know if you ever noticed, Valentine is holding the lantern that you make a wish on. And I wonder what he's wishing for. Do you suppose he's trying to get Wisp to make Draculaura love him? Literally right now, landscaper right up against the window here. So annoying. Oh, I think I'll have a sippy while I wait. And I don't have my glasses on because I have false eyelashes on. I have magnetic lashes. I love magnetic lashes. And then if I put on my glasses, they smash them into my face. So Wisp and Valentine had really cool packaging. I forgot to bring the outer box down with me, but the Comic-Con exclusives always had just really cool packaging. And I think most of you know this, but if you don't know this, Garrett Sander started as a packaging designer. So he was a packaging design artist before he led the design team on Monster High. So that's why the packaging on Monster High dolls, especially in the beginning, was always just so amazing. And when I say that this is haunted, this box is constantly moving itself. So, it'll be, on the shelf where it's supposed to be, and then it'll be like this all of a sudden. I'll come down the stairs and it'll be like this. Or it'll fall over. It's just always disrupted. Now, I could understand if maybe there's so much dust on top of this box. If there was some sort of a situation with the going up and down the stairs made the boxes on top of the curio move. But it's only Wisp and Valentine. They're the only ones that move. So that is very, very strange to me. So Wisp and Valentine, I think we can all agree this was a great choice for a way for us to get a Wisp and Valentine doll, 2 characters that probably would not have sold well in wide release as Monster High dolls, but were perfect for the collectors who were going to go all out on a Monster High San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And I think the same thing is true of these two. And this is my favorite. This is my absolute favorite. Rebecca Steam and her father, Hezekiah Steam. Best San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Monster High dolls ever. We were never going to get a Hezekiah Steam doll. Let's be honest, right? That was never going to happen. But if you, I mean, you know, I love steampunk, and I went through a big steampunk phase. So, you know, when Rebecca came out, I was like freaking out. I was like, "There's a steampunk doll! Oh my god!" And I remember just completely losing my mind when I found out that these two were going to be the Comic-Con exclusive. And the hard part, or the sad part about this is that I was only able to get one. So I was never able to take her out of the box. Because the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives, the packaging is so much a part of the experience that, at least for a while there they were, that I just couldn't bring myself to, I couldn't take her out. And it's just, it's so gorgeous. And I was a huge Rebecca Steam fan. I wish that there had been better dolls made of her. You know, there was so much, but Rebecca came out around the time that things were already starting to kind of dip in quality. And so we're lucky we got what we did. But this Rebecca, this is making me want to go on eBay and find an unboxed Rebecca Steam from this set, because she's just gorgeous. She is so gorgeous. Oh, good. The Weed Whacker, yay. This is my favorite, absolute favorite. Okay, it's just, I just love them so much. I mean, her face. I mean, just done in gold, or I guess copper. It should be made out of copper if we're doing steampunk. Oh, so beautiful. She's just, So now I want to talk to you about some special dolls. And someone texted me, so I need to look. Just in case it's like important. Nope. So, I got good news this week. One of my friends who was exposed to COVID and who got sick tested negative for COVID. So we have a couple of dolls that are special to us because they are factory errors. And we found them and we were very excited. So the first one is not a very unique factory error. These were, they made it out onto the shelves, and they were a thing. So in the swim class line that was just called swim class, it's the one where Venus had two different kinds of eyeshadow. Most of the Draculaura dolls were made without fangs. So finding a Draculaura with the fangs was the hunt. And this is our swim class Draculaura with the fangs. And we found her at Big Lots. And so she lives in her box because she's special, because she has fangs. And unfortunately, we did unbox our Venus, both of our Venuses, with the eyeshadow. So like one had green eyeshadow and one had like pinkish eyeshadow. But I believe, you know, based on the design, she was supposed to have the green eyeshadow. That's also the line where Laguna has, because they have these big plastic, they have these weird plastic pieces on them. And Laguna has these plastic things on her hips. It's Laguna, right? It's not Venus. It's Laguna who has the plastic things on her hips that if she were to jump in the water, she would get like the world's worst wedgie. The other factory error, which was really exciting to us, was exciting to us for two reasons. The first one being that this doll was legendary in our doll hunting videos because she was always everywhere. And it became a thing. Do you remember who she is? Skullshore's Gullia, because you can never have enough Skullshore's Gullia, right? She was everywhere. They must have made a bajillion Skullshore's Gullias. So it was no surprise to us to one day see a Skullshore's Gullia on a shelf, except for one thing. There are no glasses. There are no sunglasses in this box. I mean, we shook it upside down. We were in the store. We were like going nuts trying to find out if they had just fallen off at some point or if she was actually packaged. And to my knowledge, she's the only Skullshore's Gullia that ever made it into a box without her trademark green sunglasses. So Skullshore's Gullia, because you can never have enough Skullshore's Gullia. Do you remember the video where my husband lined up, made the entire Monster High display all Skullshore's Gullia dolls? He like put them in front of all of the dolls. That was pretty funny. So the other, let's do the autographed dolls. So we have two sets that were autographed for us by Garrett Sander. So this one Garrett gave to us when we had the honor of interviewing him at New York Comic Con. And that was an absolutely amazing experience. What does it say? Fangs for being such clawsome fangs. Hugs and stitches. XXX Garrett. Yes, we got to meet him in person. He gave us the tour of the whole booth, and then Caden interviewed him, and it was just such like a mind-blowing experience for us. And then we later had another mind-blowing experience where we were invited to go to California to go to the Mattel headquarters and tour with Garrett the Monster High and Ever After High design studio. And it is still like probably the coolest experience we ever had. I think, all three of us have, we've agreed that, out of the things that came from YouTube, other than Friends, experience wise, that trip was like the Mattel design studio, guys. It was like, what? It was so cool. Wait, my eyelashes. I don't know why, but always on my right eye, my magnetic eyelash tries to run away. So the other one we got, and it's the same thing. It is a birthday present from Garrett to Caden, and it is Finnegan Wake. And Finnegan had big significance to us because not only is he sort of the first disabled character in the Monster High universe, a good portion of those years that we were making videos, I spent quite a bit of time in wheelchairs because of multiple sclerosis. So a doll in a wheelchair was like a kind of a thing for us. And I don't remember why Mattel had Garrett send that to Caden. I don't really remember what the circumstances are, but we have two doll sets that are autographed by Garrett, and they're treasured. And they're both really cool because we always loved the relationship between Heath and Abby, because he was such a dork. He was just such a dork, and she was so Abby, and it was just really, really cute. And I love this set, and I love the way they're holding hands. So it was really, really cool that we have an autographed set of that. And of course, Finnegan, as I said, has significance for us. Now, most treasured. As you may recall, when the School Spirit line came out, they made a very limited number of Mo dolls. Such a limited number of Moe dolls, as a matter of fact, that we could never find him. We hunted for months. My husband drove us all over New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. We may have even gone to Delaware at some point, looking for Moe, looking for Slow Mo. We could never find him. It became a thing of us going doll hunting and being like, Moe, Moe, Moe. We could never find Moe. So lo and behold, one day we get, now let me see, I have to find it. We get a box at our P.O. box all the way from New Zealand from a fellow Monster High lover and YouTuber named Mansell Ireland. Please check out his channel. Mansell and I, we became friends. We became friends, and it's really cool to have a friend in New Zealand that I've never met. But in that box, all the way from New Zealand, was our very first Moe doll. So here he is, Slow Mo Mordovich, in box, and we wrote on here, Mansell Ireland, so we knew who sent him to us. So we would never forget that someone sent us a Slow Mo Mordovich doll. This led to 3 more people sending us slow-mo dolls. This slow-mo doll is from Amanda and Elizabeth. So there you go. There's our second slow-mo Mordovich doll. This one is from Brianna. So here we have another slow-mo Mordovich doll. And last but not least is a 4th slow-mo doll. And this is from Sarah. I'm trying to see what... I think that's her... I think that was her Instagram back then. From Sarah. So thank you to these wonderful 4 people who sent us slow-mo dolls. And the amusing part of the whole thing is we never to this day ever saw slow-mo in a store ever. Never happened. Never happened. It's crazy, but it's true. So those are our very special Monster High dolls. And Halloween, of course, always makes me think of Monster High. And I did, in case you're wondering, I did get, I was able to order the Pennywise and Grady twins dolls. I ordered one of each when they first went up for sale. And then last night I stayed up until midnight, which was not a good idea considering I already didn't feel well. I stayed up until midnight and I ordered another Pennywise because I know from the box art that I want to keep Pennywise. I want to keep the Pennywise box. So I do want to keep one of those in a box. The box art is awesome. I'll see what happens with the Grady twins when they come out on Amazon if I'm able to get one, but that's not one that I feel like I want one in the box and one not in the box. That's not something we really did. And that's kind of part of the big surprise video I want to make for you guys. But, we never did that. We just always took them out of the boxes. And I made a big thing about, dolls want to be played with. So I didn't do that. Which is actually something I regret because, if we ever needed money, which at times in our lives, we have needed money and we have sold dolls to pay bills, but which is one of the great things about being a collector. It is an investment, not just of Monster High dolls, but I've sold Barbie dolls, I've sold Star Trek memorabilia. You're like, oh, gotta pay a medical bill. I guess I have to sell all of my Star Trek ornaments. Like that's how we paid for Caden, basically. Caden was born with some medical issues and our insurance, only covered part of it. And we owed like over $10,000 in medical bills that we had no way to pay because I wasn't able to go back to work because I had a sick baby and it was a whole thing. And I had a collection of Star Trek Christmas ornaments and they were all mint. And they were the ones that lit up and made noise and all that kind of stuff. And my whole Christmas tree used to be Star Trek ornaments. And it was one of the, and my husband had a collection of football helmets, Giants football helmets that were autographed. And we sold our memorabilia to help us pay the bills. So, I mean, that's part of one of the good things about collecting. You're like, I need money. Okay, what am I willing to part with from my collection? But yeah, I do regret that we didn't do that. And I don't know where I'm going with this. But I was talking about the Grady twins and all of that. And I also don't want to be a hog because I know there's people out there that want them and they're selling out in like 60 seconds. So I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going to order 4 of them. You know, like I just don't want to do that. So I thank you to all of the Monster High collectors and the kids who are now teenagers and in college and you're going into adulthood who started watching this channel because of Monster High. And you stuck with us and you let us know through your comments that you loved us even though we're very unique. And, I stopped calling myself weird eventually, but I did used to call myself weird all the time. And then there was a young man who was my first love. And the first time we spent time together, he asked me to tell me, so tell me about yourself. And I said, well, I'm really weird. This is what I said to the young man. And the young man kind of like laughed, and this very special laugh that he had. And he looked at me and he said, don't say that. You're not weird. You're unique. And I really like it. And yes, he was my first love. And he was a great guy, and he himself was very unique. And although things didn't work out with us romantically, we did remain friends for over 30 years. And he passed away this July, suddenly and unexpectedly, and in a horrible way. And but when I say now that I'm unique, every time I say that I'm unique, I think of him. I think of you, Brian. And so I want you to do that too. Anytime that you think you're weird or you think you're different and different to you means something bad, switch that word to unique, because it's a beautiful thing to be unique, and unique is special, right? So anyway, that's my story for this Halloween. I hope you guys have a really great Halloween. I'm going to go edit this video right now so that it does go up on Halloween for you. And I appreciate your patience with me as I am unable to wear a wig or do anything super special for Monster High. But eventually, before 2020 is over, I am going to do this really special video that I want to do for you guys. And I would love to do it as a live stream because it would be so fun for us to do it together. In a participatory manner. So anyway, guys, I hope you had a great Halloween, or you are having a great Halloween. Happy Halloween, ladies. Let me know if you know what that's from. And I'm gonna go watch Hocus Pocus because unique trivia. I've never seen it. Truth. You guys have a great day. I love you so much, and I am so grateful for you. Bye!